Welcome to Epicurean Journey. Today we're embarking on an in-depth exploration of the teachings of one of history's most significant philosophers, Epicurus, and his philosophy known as Epicureanism. This video will help you understand what Epicureanism is, its fundamental principles, and how this philosophy can be applied in the modern world. However, to truly grasp Epicurus's teachings, we must also consider the period he lived in and the needs that his thoughts responded to. Epicurus was born in 341 BCE on the Greek island of Samos. At a young age, he was introduced to philosophy and studied under Pamphilus, a student of Plato. However, Epicurus distanced himself from Plato's idealist philosophy and began to embrace a more materialistic worldview. He spent most of his life in Athens, where he founded his philosophical school known as the Garden. Unlike other schools of the time, the Garden was open not only to men but also to women and slaves. It was a place where Epicurus's philosophical principles were lived out, focusing on friendship, sharing, and a simple life. Epicurus's philosophy emerged as a response to the widespread anxieties and fears in Greek society at the time. Fears of death, the wrath of the gods, and the uncertainties of fate deeply affected people. Epicurus recognized that these fears made people unhappy and prevented them from enjoying life. As a result, his philosophy aimed to liberate individuals from these fears and guide them toward true happiness. Epicureanism is built on four main principles which guide individuals toward the ultimate goal of happiness. 1. Pursuit of happiness and pleasure. According to Epicurus, happiness is achieved through the pursuit of pleasure. However, this pleasure is not just physical gratification, but also includes mental tranquility. Epicurus emphasized that physical pleasures are fleeting, and true happiness comes from mental serenity and peace. The highest form of pleasure, known as ataraxia, is a state of mind free from fear and disturbance. In this state, a person is not driven by excessive desires nor consumed by unnecessary fears. It's important to note that Epicurus did not advocate for hedonism in the sense of indulgence in physical pleasures at all costs. Instead, he believed that the pursuit of intellectual pleasures, such as friendship, knowledge, and the contemplation of nature, leads to a more sustainable form of happiness. Epicurus taught that understanding the natural world and our place within it can bring a deep sense of peace and contentment. This intellectual satisfaction, coupled with the avoidance of unnecessary desires, creates a balanced and fulfilling life. 2. Avoidance of pain. Avoiding pain is another fundamental principle of Epicureanism. By avoiding both physical and mental pain, a person can lead a peaceful and happy life. Therefore, Epicurus advised against unnecessary desires and excesses. One of the biggest mistakes people make is enduring long-term pain for short-term pleasures. According to Epicurus, it is better to seek a balanced and sustainable happiness rather than suffering for fleeting joys. This principle encourages us to avoid harmful habits, adopt a healthy lifestyle, and maintain emotional balance. In practical terms, this principle suggests that we should be mindful of the choices we make daily. For instance, choosing a healthy diet, regular exercise, and sufficient rest not only reduces physical pain, but also contributes to mental well-being. Furthermore, managing stress and avoiding toxic relationships can help prevent emotional pain. Epicurus also emphasized the importance of moderation in all aspects of life, arguing that overindulgence often leads to regret and suffering. 3. Overcoming the fear of death. One of the most striking aspects of Epicurus's philosophy is his approach to overcoming the fear of death. Epicurus argued that death is not a part of our life. When we are alive, death is not here, and when death comes, we are no longer. Therefore, the fear of death is meaningless. He famously stated, "Death does not concern us, because as long as we exist, death is not here, and when it does come, we no longer exist." This thought encourages people to be at peace with death, to accept it as a natural process, and to live life fully. Epicurus's view on death was revolutionary for his time, as it directly challenged the common beliefs about the afterlife and divine punishment. By removing the fear of death, he aimed to free individuals from the anxiety that often paralyzes them and prevents them from living fully. In modern terms, this philosophy encourages us to focus on the present moment and to live with intention rather than being consumed by worries about what lies beyond life. Today, many people find solace in this perspective as it aligns with contemporary practices like mindfulness and the here and now philosophy. By accepting the inevitability of death and embracing life as it is, we can reduce existential dread and find more meaning in our everyday experiences. 4. Living a simple and moderate life. Epicureanism advocates for a life free from luxury and excessive consumption, promoting simplicity and moderation. Epicurus believed that simplicity and moderation lead to a more fulfilled and content life. For him, the greatest wealth lies in finding contentment with what we have. According to Epicurus, a person's needs are limited: a healthy body, a peaceful mind, quality time with friends, and simple pleasures. When these basic needs are met, true happiness can be achieved. In today's world, this understanding is reflected in the minimalist lifestyle. Minimalism encourages avoiding unnecessary consumption, owning only what is needed, and freeing oneself from mental burdens. Epicurus's emphasis on simplicity also extends to the way we interact with others and our environment. He believed that by minimizing our desires and focusing on what truly matters, we can cultivate deeper connections with the people around us and live more harmoniously with nature. This idea resonates strongly in today's context, where the pursuit of material wealth often leads to environmental degradation and social disconnection. By embracing Epicurean simplicity, we can find a more sustainable and fulfilling way to live. Moreover, Epicurus's teachings on moderation can be applied to modern challenges such as digital overload and consumerism. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with information and the pressure to acquire more, adopting a more measured approach can lead to greater peace of mind and a more balanced lifestyle. So how can Epicurus's teachings be applied in the modern world? Today, many people can adopt Epicureanism as a guide to living. Concepts like minimalism, simplicity, and the pursuit of peace are contemporary reflections of Epicureanism. For example, in today's complex and busy world, leading a simple life can be a significant step toward finding inner peace. Similarly, overcoming the fear of death can help people live life more fully and without anxiety. Today, modern movements like slow living reinterpret the teachings of Epicureanism. These movements encourage living a slower, more mindful life, being present in the moment, and appreciating the beauty around us. Additionally, practices like meditation and mindfulness support Epicurus's quest for mental tranquility. These practices help individuals calm their minds, cope with stress, and live more consciously in the present moment. Epicureanism also offers valuable insights into how we can navigate the challenges of modern life. For instance, the principle of avoiding pain can be applied to managing stress and preventing burnout in a fast-paced world. By prioritizing mental and physical well-being over relentless pursuit of success, we can create a more balanced and sustainable lifestyle. Similarly, the focus on simple pleasures encourages us to find joy in the little things, whether it's a quiet walk in nature, a good book, or a meaningful conversation with a friend. In the context of today's global challenges such as climate change and social inequality, Epicureanism's emphasis on moderation and harmony with nature can guide us toward more responsible and ethical living. By reducing our consumption and living more mindfully, we can contribute to a healthier planet and a more equitable society. Epicureanism differs from other philosophical schools in several ways. For example, Stoicism also values mental tranquility, but Stoics emphasize endurance and emotional control in the face of pain. In contrast, Epicureanism prioritizes avoiding pain and seeking pleasure. Similarly, hedonism centers on the pursuit of pleasure, but Epicureanism emphasizes moderation and long-term happiness. In this sense, Epicurus's philosophy stands out by advocating a pursuit of pleasure that avoids excess. While Stoics advocate for living in accordance with nature and emotional balance, Epicureanism focuses directly on seeking pleasure, provided that this pleasure is balanced and sustainable. Epicurus's philosophy argues that the pursuit of pleasure, when done correctly, can make a person wiser and happier. One key distinction between Epicureanism and other schools, such as Stoicism, lies in their approach to emotions. While Stoicism teaches that emotions should be controlled and subdued to achieve tranquility, Epicureanism acknowledges the importance of emotions as part of a fulfilling life. Epicurus believed that positive emotions like joy and friendship are essential to happiness and should be cultivated rather than suppressed. Furthermore, unlike the Cynics, who rejected societal norms and material comforts altogether, Epicurus advocated for a balanced approach. He did not believe in completely renouncing material possessions or social relationships, but rather in enjoying them in moderation. This balanced approach allows for a more harmonious and integrated way of living, where pleasure is not pursued at the expense of others or one's own long-term well-being. Another important aspect of Epicureanism is Epicurus's view on gods and religion. Epicurus acknowledged the existence of gods but argued that they do not interfere in human life. According to him, gods are perfect beings and therefore are not concerned with human affairs. Epicurus believed that people should not fear the wrath of gods because gods are free from human weaknesses. This idea encourages individuals to free themselves from religious fears and lead a more liberated life. Epicurus emphasized that religion could be used as a tool to control people and that true happiness could be attained by freeing oneself from religious fears. Epicurus's views on religion were both radical and liberating in a time when fear of divine retribution was a common concern. By advocating for a non-interventionist view of the gods, Epicurus sought to free people from the fear of punishment in the afterlife. He argued that the gods, being perfect and self-sufficient, would have no interest in human affairs. This perspective allowed his followers to focus on living a good life here and now, rather than worrying about pleasing the gods or securing a favorable afterlife. In a modern context, Epicurus's ideas can inspire a more rational and humanistic approach to spirituality. Instead of being driven by fear or superstition, individuals can seek personal fulfillment and ethical living based on reason and compassion. This shift from fear-based religion to a philosophy of life centered on human well-being and happiness is a cornerstone of Epicurean thought. In this video, we explored the fundamental principles of Epicureanism and how this philosophy can be applied in the modern world. Here at Epicurean Journey, we will continue to delve into this philosophy. In future videos, we will provide more insights into Epicurus's life, teachings, and how these teachings can be applied in daily life. Remember, a happy and peaceful life begins with a simple step. Thank you for joining us on this journey.